Welcome once again to this important day that we shall be having again our presentation that comes up, and I want to take this moment to thank you all for being there. Thank you again for taking our time to come to and attend this presentation. I'm very grateful, I'm very happy, I'm very honored having you. And I want to say you are highly welcome to the part 3 of this program that we started on building personal productivity. And if you have been following the presentation from the very beginning, you will discover that we started by looking at you as a person, building your personal development, and we moved on to look at what the fundamentals of character, that personal development is all about, which is your character. We had to look at dimensions of character, and today we are going to continue with the part 3 of building personal productivity with the second part, which is the productivity that has to do with goal setting. Thank you so much for I am Kuh Donald Vichas, your humble presenter for today. Remember, the sure way for you to achieve your unlimited results. The introduction to productivity, we are going to discover that productivity is the ability for you to put in place elements that enable you to achieve desired results over a particular period of time. And if you are able to understand what productivity is all about, then my goal for you today is that by the end of the presentation, you should be able to, first of all, understand the meaning of productivity. The second point is for you to understand how productivity relates with personal productivity, that's personal development relating with personal productivity. And the last point that we shall be looking at, and of course you learning, is elements of personal productivity, which has to do with goal setting and how to set goals. Remember, before we move on to our elements of productivity, I started by saying for you to be able to acquire desired results in that domain, in that career, in that education, in that business, or that relationship where you find yourself, you should be able to first of all understand yourself as a person, and of course becoming aware of who you are. And this has to do with that personal development. And we looked at domains of personal developments, and in these various domains we discovered that there are a lot of changes in the physical, emotional, mental, physical, and why not social development. And goal setting has to do with you making good use of your mental development, and of course the emotional development. This is where productivity gets to interchange with personal development. And of course, if you are somebody who does not understand your character as a person, you would not be able to have this element of productivity, which has to do with goal setting. And of course, looking at goal setting, we have to understand that it has to do with you having a mental picture of the things that you want written down, and the things that you have written down, you plan on how to get them, and of course within a particular time period when you want to gain that particular goal. And equally, goal setting is a step-by-step method of achieving your goals over a period of time. So therefore, your goals should center around your five senses. Do you know your five senses? You should be able to see your goals. You should be able to smell your goals. You should be able to touch your goals. You should be able to imagine how your goals can be. Like you understand the various senses, and this is how you see your goals, and you're so passionate about it. One thing with goal setting is you should learn to be passionate about your goals, and that is what makes the difference. Steps of goal setting. Anytime you sit down, anytime you desire to set out goals, anytime you want to set a particular goal for maybe your education, maybe for your career, maybe for a particular job or a project, you should make sure that the goal should always be SMART. And SMART is an acronym that has to do with the goal being specific, achievable, realistic, and of course within a time period. When you set your goals in this SMART form, it helps you get started with the various things that will enable you achieve the goals. And of course, if your goals are not specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, it will only be a piece of written imagination on that paper or on that wall, on that vision board that you have written and pasted on. So it's good that you have these things put in place in order to achieve your desired results. Now, looking at the steps of goal setting, you would be able to understand that the steps of goal setting, since it is a goal, you need to understand that there are various steps that you need to take, and of course taking one step to the other will enable you to see that at the end of the day you acquire that result. And one of the steps that we are going to look at is for you to actually decide what you want to achieve. That means your goals should really be specific. Instead of you saying that you want to read a book, like you want to read books maybe next month, for example, you can decide to give a number of books that you want to read next month. For example, like I gave this short example, your SMART goal can be by the end of August, or on the 30th of by the 30th of August, I would be able to complete, or I will read 2 books by August 30th. This can be a SMART goal for you. And once you get it written down like this, it's very good because it engineers your mind. It builds your brain. It helps your brain keep on creating opportunities on how to actually read the 2 books at the end of the month. The second step that we are going to look at is for you to write down your goal. So when you decide on what to do, what you need to achieve, you write it down. By so doing, you activate the mental part of you as you keep on looking at the goal, as you keep on imagining the goal day in, day out. And of course, when you write your goal, you should be able to put it somewhere that you will be able to look at it every day. Your goal should be written out, and of course being pasted on your vision board with a timeline, with a deadline. So the third point on steps of goal setting, the third step is for you to set a deadline. A deadline is that limit where it helps you go beyond your effort. You stretch yourself. For example, when I was still schooling back then, and whenever an assignment was being given, I always tell myself that the latest date to submit is on Friday, for example. And since I still have much time, I will not be pushful in order to do that assignment. Mind you, on Thursdays, I will discover myself gaining another energy that will help me achieve that result of submitting or doing my assignments and submitting it. And it goes the same if maybe you are in a career or you have a particular job, you are in a particular job and you are the boss, or you are the employee. You discover that when you give assignments and you don't allocate deadlines on it, that assignment remains undone. And it goes the same with your own goals. If you set a goal for yourself, make sure that you are able to place a limit, a deadline. And of course, if you are not able to achieve the goal before this time, or at this time, it is but normal that circumstances happened and you were not able to achieve the goal. And of course, you should be able to set new deadlines, and this is going to help you draw a limit for you to keep on working, achieving your goal. And this is where character comes in. So if you don't really understand the first two presentations, kindly go back and go through the presentation, and you'll be able to understand what you can be able to do as a person. And the fourth step that we are going to look on steps of goal setting has to do with you making sure that you put or you list down the things that can help you achieve your goals. Remember, our example was you being able to read by August 30th, for example. And this will now, like, this point is telling us that you list the list of everything that can help you. This can be the people that you have. Maybe you can have somebody that you will place as an accountability partner to make sure that if you don't read these two books, it's either you pay the person a particular sum of money, or when you read this book, the person should be able to reward you in another way. So this will go a long way to support you. And of course, looking at the second point on how to list the things that can help you achieve your goals is the knowledge in from different sources. Are you going to read an ebook? Are you going to read a book review? Maybe you have a book review in your electronic device. Are you going to buy a hard copy book? And if you are to buy a hard copy book, what are the challenges? Is there will you have the finances to read, to buy these two books in order to read? Or will you have challenges of no lights? Of course, you need to set a realistic goal, and you should be able to measure your ability to achieve this goal within the time frame that you have set for yourself. Looking at the fifth step, which is that's step 5, you organize the list in both sequence and priorities. That's the list that we just made up. Is it the number of people that you need? Is it the number of opportunities, the skills that you need in order to read? Will you be reading in the morning and the evening? Will you be reading just in the evening? What are the various things that you be doing? You list them down, and this helps you think critically on the number of pages that you will want to read in the day, such that by the 30th of August, for example, you should be able to achieve your goal of reading and completely reading 2 books. So the first 5 steps, you would notice that it has to do with you planning, and the 6th step has to do with you taking actual steps. So if you plan on maybe going on a vacation before the end of the week, and you don't put a deadline to it, or you put a deadline and when that time comes for you to actually take a step, you don't do what you plan for yourself, you discover that you only beautiful goal on a picture, maybe on a wall, without you actually taking a step. So this step 6 has to do with you taking action steps after you must have sat down, come out with your goals, reading it day and night. And of course, you start with the first step, the second step, you take the third step, and that is how you keep on going ahead. And of course, the seventh step is for you to make sure that every day, if you are reading a book, you should read every day. You should do something every day. Make sure that every day you do something in relation to your goals. You should not set out goals. I know that this is when this 2023 started, a lot of us had to put goals, a lot of us had to set goals, a lot of us had goals in our mind that we said we are going to achieve in 2023, and before you realize it, the year is gradually coming to an end, and you realize that a lot of us have given up on our goals. And if you want to look at it very well, you see that this step 6 and 7 has been the one haunting us. And if you get to take this step 6 and 7 very well, you discover that no matter what happens, you will continuously focus on that goal. Why? Because you know how the picture of what you want to achieve looks like. You know the level at which you want to be. And of course, when you do this, you get to every day in order to achieve that burning goal, that one big dream that causes you not to sleep at night. Conclusively, those who succeed in education, for example, at their work on a project, they are the ones that have been able to set out goals each day, and they work on them in order to achieve these goals. So the difference between those who are successful and those who fail is the ability for them to take action no matter what it happens. And this ability for you to take action has to do with your self-discipline. And we looked at this self-discipline when we were looking at the various character development. And so if you are not able to develop your character in such a way that you to discipline yourself to do what is necessary no matter how you feel, it becomes challenging for you to achieve your desired goals, and it will limit your productivity. Remember, I earlier said productivity is for you to the ability for you to acquire the desired results, and this result has to do with the quality and the quantity within a time frame. So if you are able to set out goals and you take action steps towards these goals, you discover that you will be able to acquire the results that will help you become successful. And those who fail simply starts on something and they give up as a result of failures, as a result of challenges, as a result of mistakes. So they give up. Now the question to you is, have you been able to achieve those goals you set out for yourself when this 2023 started? Have you been able to work on achieving your goals? Remember, the more you get to work on your goals, the more you get to discover that little successes on those domains where you find yourself are the ones that will go a long way to produce the one big that you desire to achieve. And this is where, if you get this understanding, you would be able to actually keep on moving with your goals, keep on working towards your goals, keep on reshaping your goals. When you fall, you go back to the drawing board and of course look at where you went wrong, look at where you need to learn, and As a result of this, you cannot be able to achieve this when you don't have the character of humility, when you are not genuine. We looked at all this, and if you have been able to follow the series or the yes from the beginning, part 1, part 2, and today part 3, you understand that there is a particular chain, there is a particular trend that if you get to understand yourself so well, it will enable you achieve your productivity, which is the results that you set for yourself. And it is my desire that we all should be able to be productive, and of course the desire goals that we want for ourselves. Thank you so much for we were looking today at building productivity, and we have been able to look at what productivity is all about, how productivity connects with your personal development, and the elements of productivity which has to do with goal setting. And we have been able to go through the steps of goal setting. And one thing I must encourage you is learn to write down your goals. Learn to write down your goals. It is said that the 80% of those who enjoy the wealth get to spend, like 20% of those who enjoy the wealth spend 80% writing their goals. Like the 80-20 rule has to do with only 20% of those who get to write down their goals enjoy the 80% of wealth, enjoy the 80% of riches. So if you can be able to be among the 20% of those who will set down goals, you'll be able to achieve the desired results among the 80%. So if you can take out 20% of your time every day to set out goals, you will acquire 80% of your results every day, every week, every month, every year. So make sure that in every situation where you find yourself, you should ask yourself, am I using the 20-80 rule, making sure that every 20% of what you put into something, you gain 80%, and 80% of those who don't do anything loses or gain 20% of the minimum results that they desire for themselves. So if you can be able to put in just 20% of your time in going through this lesson over and over with writing materials or writing down key important things, you'll be able to gain a lot, as we have been looking from the very beginning of this presentation. Thank you so much. For this presentation was brought to you by me, Kuh Donald Vichas, your productivity strategist. Thanking you for being glued to my channel. Please, if you are new, kindly subscribe, kindly comment, and hit the notification bell. Questions, answer in the question and in the comment section below, and I'll answer. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.